Hi all. So we just recently got the Schwinn IC4, and what I mean by recently, I mean yesterday. I've never used a spin bike before, so there are some learning curves and how the momentum is carried by the flywheel, but we needed to do something different in terms of leveraging some of the alternatives on Apple TV, as well as just keeping something different in here. I've had my treadmill for years. I'm not really a runner. My wife is, but outside of that, just wanted a little bit more cardio, especially with being under lockdown and everything else that's been happening over the last year. So we got this spin bike to try to go well with our Apple Watches. It's one thing that we got in the last two and a half weeks, just as to help boost and help us focus and just help us continue. Another addition to the gym. So it kind of sticks out here, but it's relatively small footprint. Build quality is phenomenal. I couldn't believe how heavy this was when I tried to drag it out of the car and bring it inside, so I had to take it piece by piece downstairs. The main weight of it being the frame. But yeah, it's quite heavy. However, maneuvering it, as you've seen with other videos, is actually quite easy. Once you just get the tilt with the handlebars, get it on the wheels, it's quite mobile. It feels much lighter than it is. That weight translates, of course, into just being really sturdy. My wife's relatively short, so she's just, in terms of from hip to the bottom of her foot, to just have a slight bend in her knee with shoes on, she just makes it. She'll say she's 5 foot, but she's maybe 4'11". We won't show her this video. But outside of that, we're all relatively short, so it'll be something that there's not a lot of movement up and down for. I know I have to move the seat up a bit. I prefer the handlebars, so far I've figured out, slightly higher, but other than that, it's pretty good. Got the heart rate that comes with it, that goes along with the built-in computer monitor. It takes a little bit to sort of click in. I think it's about, by the time you turn this on, you power this on the Bluetooth, then you power on the band, and then you wait maybe about 20-30 seconds for it to connect. Straightforward. It's a magnet plug for this to charges right off the base here. There's a USB on it, which can also charge your iPad. And I wanted, in a lot of the videos, I couldn't really tell how big an iPad. I've got an older iPad, and so from a size wise, you can kind of gauge how it is in case it fits. In case you want to go with the bigger, this is an iPad Air, so it's 9.7, I think it was. From edge to edge in terms of viewing angle. That's pretty much in line with the iPad Air 4 and Pro. Now size-wise, if you go with the larger Pro, maybe if you like using these thumbs when you're cycling, it might be a little too big, especially if you have a case. Still a lot of room with this slim case on it. So it does come with the necessary tools to put it together. This one's really just used for putting the pedals in, which lots of videos turn this pedal this way and make sure you don't do the right pedal in the opposite direction. This Allen wrench on this side has a Phillips screwdriver. So there are some Phillips heads that you have to screw in. I would not recommend using this. Doesn't grip enough, and if you try to tighten it down, not that you should tighten it down too much, it might strip. I definitely recommend getting one of these, or using one of these, I should say, to tighten it, where you can just have that adjustable tip just to get it in there. Just to get it in there, not strip it. The last thing you want to do is round out something and then have to adjust it later on. Like I found I could adjust this a little bit because the iPad was sitting crooked. Still seems to be sitting a little bit crooked, but it's much better now that I've done that adjustment. And the only other thing that's a pain is the cabling. It just hangs, and I'm really worried about it getting knocked and pulled, and then that's it. Then this computer from the wiring harness is kaput. You have to figure out another way to do it, or call them up. Obviously, a way to make for them to make some additional money after the fact. So I did, just to help prevent any sort of cabling pullout, I just have these, which I use for some of the network cables that we have inside the house. Very easy Velcro. Just tie it off, secure it if it needs to be adjusted, Velcro it off again. I wouldn't recommend using tie wraps. These are relatively cheap. They're reusable. They're adjustable. And my wife likes that the red ones match the rest of the bike, because that's what we got it for it to look good enough for us. Anyhow, that's the quick and dirty. I'll do a review after, give it, say, 3 months. Till next time.